What's up, people? Punch here. So the developers at Perfect Random made another update for Sulfur called Telia Support Update, and this one they had a couple new things. The major updates are weapon progression system, where you sacrifice a rank 5 weapon, which I'll show later, which is basically what Telia does. Two new weapons, which is a 50 caliber BMG Revolver and a 5.56 SMG. Sadly, I wasn't able to get the Revolver, but I did get the 5.56. Save slots were introduced, roguelike difficulty setting tied to save slots, hard by default, and aim assist options added for controllers. Here's the thing, what they did for this one is they added difficulty modifiers, and normally that was not the case for Sulfur. So if you go to a new one, they have cheats as well if you want to, but they have very easy, normal, hard, and hardcore. Hardcore is actually if you do play that and you die once, the save is completely gone. So if you do play hardcore, your save file is completely gone, compared to hard to where if you die, you would lose all your items and inventory that is currently on your person, not inside your stash. But here's the 5.56 SMG. As I stated earlier, this is one of the two guns that came out in this update called the 5.56 Chimera Rapid SMG, and it looks like an AK if they got rid of the stock behind it, but it's pretty good. It does 88 damage by default, and it has a decent rapid fire. The 50 BMG Revolver I might put into an actual short if people want to check it out, and they did a couple other things as well. Like I said earlier with the cheats, they have like invulnerability, they have a bunch of money, they have God mode and stuff, but I'm not going to do that. If anything, I'm probably going to have another save file to where it's hardcore mode. Now, when it comes to Telia, she'll be behind Ralphie and the car, and you'll see this giant hole that's in the corner of the church. This is where Telia is, so if you have trouble trying to find her, you could just go over and look at the corner of the building that has a giant hole in it. And if you go inside and see, it'll be right there as well behind Arthur. What Telia does is that she has a thing called a Replicator, and you could take one level 5 rank weapon and sacrifice it. Now, if it's under 5, it doesn't work. Like if I tried doing the Typhon or the Longboy or something else, like say I get rid of my Longboy, you can sacrifice that level 5, and guess what you could do with it? You can reproduce it into the Replicator, meaning that as long as you have the credits or Sulfur to do so, you could actually get multiple different copies of that gun. So if you want to get another Longboy, another Fusel, another Verd, another SOCOM 9, whatever it is, you can spend that money to get another gun. Now, it's not going to have the different attachments you had on there, like Sniper Scope, a Bresnik BMD, a Flash Hider, a Suppressor, any type of oil or enchantments, but it's just a default gun. And I do like this because when you had a level 5 gun, you basically just had it and that was it. You either put it inside your inventory, it collected dust, or you didn't really want to lose it. And then maybe sometimes it'd be hard to find some guns, like when it came down to me trying to find the War Pig or the Duhar, or maybe even like some of the newer guns that have come out in the last couple of updates. Now you get level 5, you can go ahead and make a bunch of them so that you could use them without having to worry about losing it and then having to find it again. So I've been loving the Longboy, so I wanted to sacrifice one of them at least compared to the other one that I had. That's the Sniper Scope, currently using right now. Then I can go ahead and go back, get a Longboy, and then put a bunch of attachments on it. I think this is a great update for that because, as I said, it's hard to find a lot of these weapons in this game because it's all RNG based. If I can't find a Longboy, or if I can't find a Fisk because, RNG is kind of being fickle and I keep finding Knops and, a lot of stupid like Arbiters that I can't stand anymore, then I could just go make a copy of the gun with the Replicator and then use it for whatever I want to do, enchantments, oils, and so on. When it comes down to a couple other general updates, they added the aim assist option for controllers on very low by default. You can now save and quit between floors. They also had another thing which I thought was kind of funny. Saves coming by pressing Alt F4 will no longer save you from the death screen. If you want to do that, you better do it before your health reaches 0. Meaning that when you did Alt F4 in most games, basically what they're saying as a joke, you're just going to close the game anyway and nothing's going to really happen. So you'll still die even if you do that. So be aware that if you try anything like that, that it probably won't work and you'll still die anyway. Continuing on with the general updates, new achievements for Telia. Emperor Explosions switched to new system. Explosions no longer affect the player's velocity until we figure out some cool explosion knockback system, which I think they also messed around with the Corpse Explosion enchantment, where you won't see jibs very much, because sometimes if you did do that, it would hurt the enemies behind them. Enemies can now stay back and attempt to ambush players for more varied encounters rather than just trying to rush you all the time. Shooting enemies no longer damages other enemies, preventing them from killing each other. Lower the difficulty in some specific endless waves. A memory leak was fixed for some reason or another. I don't really know so far, though the game still has stuttering every once in a while. And I do hear this random audio cue when I go into a new level or trying to load in. Food now cues in your stomach, and you will digest the fastest health gain first. And they have a new throwing animation for the throwing knife, and I think the grenade as well. Possibly the stick grenade. I did see kind of weird things with that one and the pineapple grenade. But I'm currently inside of a toilet if you haven't seen that one. You could actually put stuff inside it. It's like a 2x20 type of like long rectangle. And you could put like, you know, med kits or helmets or whichever in there. But I was like coming back to the desert level and just shooting the hell shrew because they are a pain in the ass. And the 50 BMG Longboy always does the trick for them. Otherwise, sometimes if you do have like oil or enchantments for the fusel, depending upon the damages, you can kill them within about 1 or 2 shots, especially the sniper variants, which you don't have to have them pop up in the air. As long as you know where they're kind of at and you hit the top of them, it takes about 1 shot with a Longboy or 2 for the Pierre as well. But that's all I got currently for the Telia Support update. They did have some bug fixes and balancing, as well as some changes to levels. So I'll put that in the description down below for people to check out on Steam if you want to look it up. And personally, I do like that 5.56 Chimera. I think I'll probably try to get that to rank 5 and then be able to put it in the Replicator and unlock it. I think it's a very, very great patch. I mean, again, there wasn't really much you were able to do with a rank 5 gun other than being able to put attachments on it, oils and enchantments, and then once you got to that specific point, you really didn't want to use it if you didn't want to lose the gun and then not be able to find it anymore due to the RNG of trying to find all the weapons crates. But with this update now with Telia and the Replicator, now you could just add that gun to the Replicator itself, spend a bunch of sulfur, and then being able to get it by default and then experiment later on with whatever you were trying to do. The other nice touch I like is being able to go to a new save file and then having hardcore difficulty and seeing how far you can progress before you lose everything, including your save file. But anyway, I've been One Nut Punch, and this has been the Telia Support update for Sulfur. And like I said, I'll have the stuff in the description down below for the full patch notes, and we'll have to see what they do when the game comes out to 1.0, hopefully pretty soon. I didn't really see anything in terms of where the roadmap's going to be for 1.0, or hopefully coming out this year. But we'll have to see what happens, and like I said, if people do want to see what the 50 BMG Revolver looks like, I'll put it in a short and show it off. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next one.